everybody, Jennifer from A Close Heart Experience. Don't mind the hair tonight. It is just everywhere. We've tried to fix it and it's just standing up and waving. Just ignore it and move on. Sometimes it is what it is, you know? It just is. The little strays. So I did another video tonight about making 2025 the year of you. This one will probably be posted Thursday, but I kind of wanted to talk about money today. I know everybody loves to hate it, but that's what I do for a living, and if I can save you a few bucks, so be it, right? Okay, let's get this show on the road. Money, it comes and it goes. There's really no reason to have a love-hate relationship with it, I promise. And the more you fight it, the less it comes to you. I can guarantee that one. And the biggest mistake, I don't know if you guys have seen that commercial for Rocket. I think it's an app. The biggest mistake people make is subscribing, Amazon, and eating out. And coffee. Coffee. When I get bank statements from people and they tell me, where's all my money going? I can pretty much, especially here in Alaska, because we do a lot of our shopping on Amazon, I can pretty much whittle it down to Amazon and coffee. You don't realize that an $8 cup of coffee up here with the tip, that's about what a 16 ounce is, adds up really quick. I mean, 8 times 5 is 40 times 4. You're spending 160 bucks on coffee a month. When you could get a Keurig, spend 28 bucks, on a box, and that might last you more than a month. Just little things to save money. I also am a proponent at shopping sales. People don't know how to do this. I know a lot of people that shop every day for dinner. That is crazy to me. Holy fart sacks. If I had enough time in the day to shop every day, I sure as shit would find something better to do than go to the grocery store. Oh, I don't know how you people do it. And try not to DoorDash those groceries as well, because DoorDash and Instacart, Costco is the worst offender, but they add to the cost of the product. I will be honest, DoorDash has saved my hind end several times. It makes my life a lot easier, especially during tax season when I'm working nonstop. I'm willing to pay that extra $5, for a roast or something, and then the 20 bucks to have it delivered, because in that hour of me going shopping, I could easily get 1 or 2 tax returns done and bring in 400 bucks. So that extra 25 to 50 makes sense to me then. But in the winter time, or when things are slower for us around here, I go to the store, especially to Costco, because Costco, it adds hundreds of dollars. I have seen easily where, for instance, like oranges, you walk in, you can buy a box of them for $8.99 or something. You order them on Instacart, it's more like $18.99. So that's like a $10 difference, and you get 10 items from there. You're easily spending an extra 100. Plus the tip to have somebody deliver it. It's not a good idea. Eating out. I know that we're all busy. I know it. And meal planning is not necessarily in everybody's wheelhouse. But even if you make a pot of goulash one night instead of eating out, it is going to save you thousands of dollars. I try to limit our household to maybe once or twice a month, because it has gone from 50 bucks for 2 people to eat out to probably 100 bucks. And that's DoorDash. We very rarely go into restaurants anymore. Anyhow, you add the tip and all that. It adds up really quick, and that's not ordering anything extra. So, not eating out, planning your shopping trips. When stores have sales, they go in cycles. I have been accused of being a prepper. I am not a prepper. I shop sales. And the difference is, so if I walk into a store and green beans are 67 cents a can, which right now they're usually like $1.25, I will buy the limit on those cans. So if they say the limit on the coupon is 10, I will get 10 of them. And I will hope that that carries me to the next sale item. So in my pantry, I have, like, I'll go buy a case of tomato paste and chopped tomatoes. I'll make my own spaghetti sauce if I need to, because it doesn't have all the junk in it that crap in the store has. I'm sorry, I know everybody loves ragu, but if you read the label, you're going to think differently. And when you're raised on everything from scratch, you can taste that stuff. I can taste it. I cannot do Bisquick. I cannot do Krusties. I cannot do Pillsbury. There is some sort of wang in it that just makes me, yeah. Anyhow, that's a tangent for another day. But people don't realize making it from scratch is really not that hard and doesn't take that a heck of a lot of time. If you're making, I mean, even pie crust takes like 5 minutes. It doesn't take that long. You don't need to buy one. And it'll taste so much better, and it'll be so much more flaky, and people think that you just hung the moon if you make it yourself. I promise. But one year for Christmas, I needed a gift to give everybody, so I took the leftover tomatoes from my garden, and I made spaghetti sauce for everybody, and threw in, you know, noodles and a spaghetti serving spoon kind of a thing. Anyhow, I had so many people request that the next year. And you know what's in it? Tomatoes, garlic, basil, oregano, maybe a pinch of sugar and some salt. It's not rocket science, guys. The hardest part was cooking it. You have to cook it for a while, but I put it in my crock pot and just let it go. And then can it up, and everybody loves it. It's really an easy thing to do. And you can do, I get a big pot and I do a lot of tomatoes. Sometimes I'll buy the chopped tomatoes and tomato paste from Costco and make spaghetti sauce that way and can it up. Sometimes I just make it the night we're eating it. It's easy peasy, pudding and pie. And you save money that way too, because 2 cans of chopped tomatoes, maybe a can of sauce, and tomato paste used to cost, I'm probably dating myself, but all of that used to be around $3. It's probably around $5 now. But a jar of spaghetti sauce not on sale can be upwards of $8 if you're looking for a good kind. And if you buy the canned tomatoes and tomato paste and stuff from Costco, it's not. It's more like the $3 once you know, divide it all out. Credit cards is my next problem. If you cannot pay your credit cards off every month, you're living outside of your means. We really desperately need to quit living outside of our means, people. And I mean this sincerely. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. Because you are paying 3 or 4 times with that interest rate what that item cost. So if you wanted to buy Johnny a little blue ball, and on Amazon it's $2.50, but you don't pay that off, would you have paid for like 3 or 4 months, would you have willingly paid $10 for a $2.50 ball? No, but you are. And if it gets to the point where it's out of control and you can't make the minimum payment on it, then they start adding fees and penalty type things, and your interest rate goes through the roof. So the long and short of a credit card is, I know a lot of people that use it to pay their monthly, like utilities. It just automatically, and then when they get paid, they pay the balance off. It's better for your credit that way. If you can leave I think it was recommended 10% as a revolving balance on there, it'll really improve your credit score. I had a credit card when we went to go buy our house in 2004, I'm sorry. And I was paying it off every month, so it had a zero balance when we showed up to apply for the lending company. I was almost denied the house loan because there was a $20,000 balance on that card, which meant I could rack it up and the payment would disqualify me from buying the house. Things to think about. And I don't want anybody buying a house right now. The prices of houses are so asinine. The price of rent is insane. I don't know how people are doing it. The cost, between the rising costs of food and utilities and basically when it comes to the houses, if you buy a house or a car right now, you're going to be upside down in it. There's no other. You're upside down on a car loan the minute you drive that car off the lot. But right now, when people are paying $1,000 a month for a brand new car, I'm actually getting reports from realtors and car dealers up here in Alaska that the cars are sitting and they're not moving off the lot, which makes a lot of sense to me, because how can you have a $3,000 to $4,000 mortgage payment because you bought a $180,000 house for $500,000, add in $2,000 to $3,000 in utilities, another $1,000 for food per month, and another $1,000 or so for a car payment? And most families have 2 cars, so that's $2,000. That's a nice paying job. And could you let me know where you got that? I'd like to sign up. Anyhow, it's getting to the point where it's not affordable to live. People make fun of me because I drive a 98 Chevy Suburban. And I truly don't care, because I don't have any car payments. I have enough to pay with my student loan and my mortgage payment that I don't need to add a brand new car to that list. I also don't have any credit cards. I had them about 5 years ago and I paid them off and was done. I decided we were living outside of our means. My husband was at that, it was before his stroke. If he knew we had money, he was really bad. He would go to the store for just about anything. So I decided savings account is where it's at, because a lot of people think having a credit card is good for emergencies. I can be honest with you, I haven't needed one. I haven't needed a credit card in a long time. And when I say money comes and money goes, that savings account, I can tell you I've drained it a few times. Yeah. But I had the money. I'm not any further in debt. And we're just saving again and praying to the good Lord above that nothing happens before I get it saved one more time. Yeah, I know. There are other ways too, though. If you can keep your credit score good without the credit card, then there's personal loans and stuff you can get if push comes to shove and you have a major tragedy happen. But it also means letting go of the stuff. I'm not a minimalist by any means, but I do notice the older I get, the less I want. I want to hang on to stupid things like my cast iron pans and the ornaments my mom made me. I'll try to sneak in a picture of our Christmas tree to show you she's got some serious talent. And stuff that has sentimental value, like the family Bible. The rest of it is shit. It's just crap. There is no reason to hang on to it at all. And like I said in the past video, donate it. There are people that can use it. There are people that, turn your junk. One man's junk is another man's treasure. They can turn it into something they can sell or use, or, there's 100 different things, but living in a house for 30 years, you accumulate a lot of craptastic stuff. A lot of junk. And most of it has sat there. I haven't touched it for 10 years. That's the stuff that needs to go. That's the stuff that needs to get the hell out of the house. And I'm working on it. The only stuff I buy, and yes, I compare prices. For instance, can somebody tell me, I need to Google this, but is there like a shortage with U-Band coffee? That's my favorite coffee. And I was buying it on Amazon for $8.99 a canister. And sometimes it would go on sale for $9.99 or $10.99 at Cars Safeway up here. But I can't get it on Amazon anymore, and I went to go buy it at the store. They wanted $15.99. We got house brand. I did not. Yeah, I'm cheap. I'm sorry. But cheap is not necessarily a bad thing. When I was growing up, we canned a lot of our food. A lot of our meat came from hunting or from growing it ourselves. My dad did pigs, and my mom refused to do chickens because she had to clean a chicken coop too many times. Have you ever smelled it? Ooh, the ammonia. It can get bad. I can smell it now that I'm thinking about it. My grandpa had chickens. But there are cheaper ways, and I've been kind of told now that it's not really affordable to raise your own food because the cost to feed them is through the roof. It's kind of like making your own clothes. My mom used to make our own clothes, and I think I said in another video she made our Christmas presents quite a bit. And it's not affordable to do that anymore. The cost of fabric is asinine. But the clothes you order or buy in, some store, they're made so crappy that they last like 3 or 4 times, and then they got holes in them. I've really been complaining about my jeans lately. They are so thin that they don't last very long. I used to have pants that would last me years on end, and now I'm lucky if they last me 4 to 6 months. And they're not cheap. They're like $100. Who wants to pay $100 for a pair of jeans? Not I, cow pie. So I've been looking for a different brand instead of the one that I was using. But another cost-saving tip: shut your lights off. Turn your heat down. I know you don't think it really helps, but it all adds up. All adds up. Before my husband had the stroke, our electrical bill was like $125 a month. Now with the rising costs and him being home every single day, I pay between $200 and $300 a month. Sometimes in the wintertime when it's really cold, it can be upwards of $400. Yeah, I do not like those months. No. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul just to keep the electric on. We have a furnace. It's a water, not forced air, and it's gas, which that's why I turn the heat down. I put on leggings underneath my jeans sometimes. I know I sound really bad or like I'm 93, but or put on thicker socks, because sometimes when it gets below zero up here, it's impossible to keep heat in the house. But instead of turning it up to 90, just putting on an extra layer of clothing keeps your heating bill from being $500. Just a thought. My dad used to walk through the house and turn all the lights off behind us, and he would say, "Are you born in a barn?" I've kind of inherited that. I come home, every light in the house is on. I walk through and I turn them off. Even in my office, you can kind of tell it's dark behind me. I don't keep, this is a lamp, I don't keep lights on. In fact, I probably thrive in the dark. I should probably change that. I don't know. But, excuse me, I still have this cough. But the long and short of it is it all adds up. Just changing one thing can add a couple hundred. And if you take, there are some schools of thought, I'm going to take a cough drop, I'm sorry, so I can quit coughing. There are some schools of thought that if you can put 25% of your paycheck in a savings, that by the time you retire, you will have more than enough to retire on. I have found that to not be so true, because I've had to use it. I've one thing or another. For instance, when my husband had the stroke, we were a two-family income, and I had just started my business, and it wasn't producing a lot of money at that time. So all of a sudden I was stuck. I had very little coming in. I had a responsibility to pay my employees before I paid myself. And that pantry shopping, the 10 cans of green beans, if I hadn't had that, I don't know what we would have eaten. Because it took every other penny I had. He had a stroke in September. So the next 3 months, October, November, December, and even January, were so hard. I had one family member help me out, and I swear if he had not, I would have been living in a cardboard box. Yeah. So we need to change our relationship with money. It needs to, don't fight for it so hard. The harder you fight, the less you're going to be able to attain it. I can promise you that. And quit having such a hold on it. There are some things about saving too much, and there are other things about saving too little. You might not have a savings account, but are you wasting it on crap, filling your house full of junk? Just things to think about. And do you need that coffee every day? Or can you take a tumbler, a coffee mug with you to work? Pour it out of your coffee maker at home. It's a lot cheaper, guys. And before you know it, you're going to be putting a lot into savings by being frugal. My office manager, she watches a few of the websites around town, and they'll post things when they go on sale. And when they do, she bolts. And she always keeps me in mind. She's like, "Do you want any?" For instance, we got chocolate chip, bags of chocolate chips for like $1 the other day. She got us hams for 47 cents a pound. And literally, you're not going to see that price again. So buy two and put them in the freezer. It's not hoarding food. It's planning for a time when you don't have it. And then Sunday nights, figure out what you want for the week for dinner. Each night, pull one item out. And I love my crock pot, especially in the wintertime. There's a lot of recipes out there for a lot of different dinners. You can set it up in the morning. You can even set it up frozen and it'll be done by the time you get home. And I know people like their Instapots. I am not an Instapot fan, especially if I'm not home. I want somebody watching. And plus, they're talking about the stuff they use to make it causes cancer. That's why I like my cast iron pans and my terracotta, or they're ceramic anyhow, crock pots. So I guess that's pretty much all I can give you. That's the end all be all. Watch your spending. Quit buying the crap. You don't need it, really. There is really no need to keep up with the Joneses. You'll be a lot happier with a lot less crap. And if you need to buy something large, saving up for it will make you appreciate it a hell of a lot more. I know they don't make things like they used to. I've been through 3 or 4 refrigerators in the last 10 years. It's so maddening when my parents' refrigerator lasted 20 plus years. Anyhow, use money as a tool, not as a has to be. Find your happy outside of money, and you will be a happier person. I do it for a living, I promise. I see it every day. Every day. And there's really something to that adage, a penny saved is a penny earned. If that's all you can save, so be it. I used to, back in the day before paychecks were direct deposited, I would get envelopes and split them up between utilities. And I would just cash the whole paycheck and split it up, put them into envelopes, and then go and drop each envelope off to pay my bill. And it saved me so much money because there was no temptation of that money being in my bank account, and then whatever was left over was put in our eating out envelope or toy purchasing, you know, if there was something we really wanted. And then I took 100 of it and put it into savings account. It's really how you look at it. But I can tell you, client after client after client that has come in here saying, where is all my money going? They're usually supporting Starbucks or Amazon. Or a local restaurant. Just food for thought, guys. I guess I'll see you Saturday. I'm out. I love y'all. Bye.